Yes, well, back with you. Hello again, Jim Burns. What we got going on here today is the Lionel 628 44-ton switcher, the Northern Pacific version of this locomotive. Uh, a friend of a friend, another Christmas emergency, and the only information I got, other than it made a little bit of noise at the end of their Christmas season, before putting it away. And now this year, it doesn't want to run. So we're going to have to figure this one out. Try to get it running for them for Christmas. Let's see what we can discover. Uh, if we put power to her. Okay, what I'm talking about here, now that the audio's cut out on the camera for whatever reason, I'm just pointing out the screws missing on the shells, so we're just going to pull it off and see what we can discover. The first thing I like to look at is the unit. Even though it sounded like it was working okay, I'm just going to take a look at it here and just move it up and down with my thumb here. See if it moves freely, and it does. It does. All right. And then I'll take a look at the drum and the fingers. Make sure they're nothing burnt, nothing missing. Everything's hooked up correctly. But here I'm just putting power to it now just to check it. And sluggishly it went up, but it did go up. See if it drops back down when I cut the power. There it did. Up and back down. And sound effects were so that's what's going on there. All right, we'll let that cycle a couple more times there, and then what I want to do is take a look at the rest of the frame here, and I had to laugh because of what people do to keep their trains running. Oh my goodness! But if you notice these stabs that keep the truck mounted to the frame here, they're bent over. One is slightly bent, there I'm pointing at it with my thumb, and the other one is completely bent over, and we can't have that. I'm going to try and straighten those, and then get them their new cup washers and springs and a speed nut, and that'll remount the truck in the proper manner. What a mess. I hope those stabs don't break off. But anyway, what I'm talking about here is just looking over the motor truck on this end of the locomotive. And if you see here on this plastic cover on the bottom of the truck, there's a divot there where a tiny ball bearing resides in that hole. And a lot of people miss this, but you got to oil that so it oils the underside or the lower side of the armature shaft, which points straight down, which I'm clumsily indicating by pointing my thumb downward. But anyway, I just wanted to take a look at that, and it's bone dry. There's nothing in there. There's no oil, no signs anybody ever oiled it. Just taking a look at the gears here, they're bone dry. There's no grease on them at all. Uh, that's a sad situation. I don't see any excessive wear, so hopefully this was just a Christmas engine that they ran around and put it away. It wasn't heavily used. So we'll see if we can remedy that situation with the dry gears. Oil our axles once we clean her up. I'll be giving all this a big bath in mineral spirits, get her all cleaned up. But just wanted to point a couple things out there. And then on our pickup truck here, this everything looks pretty good. Not in bad shape. Pretty dry as far as lubrication is concerned, but everything's spinning freely and looking good. So hopefully we'll be able to remedy this. And then when I flip it back over here, I notice the motor brushes are actually just soaked with oil. And that was probably an attempt to get this thing running again. And you'll notice here when I flip it over, and they're just soaked, completely soaked with oil. You're not supposed to oil the brushes there, folks. But what's funny is the shaft for the armature is not oiled. Just somebody made a mistake. But you live and learn, right? Yeah. No criticism here. We all got to learn.